Hey, what's up everyone, Morey Croson here, and today we're going to be breaking down Marcell Jacobs, and we're going to start the video right now. This is the newest edition of the Performance Lab.
Reach your individual goals.
You don't want to just talk about straight line speed. We also want to talk about your ability to be quick. We break down your video.
Let's make you into the quarterback I know you can become.
All right, so this is going to be an updated video here on Marcell Jacobs. I think overall, he does such a beautiful job, just maximizes front side mechanics, right? And he's running here next to Arthur Sissy right here, who is 5'6", right? And then you have Lamont Jacobs 6'1", and what ends up being the difference, or what's amazing to me that I love about Lamont Jacobs or Marcell Jacobs is he has like the same turnover as Arthur Sissy as he's starting off in that initial start there, right? And Sissy ends up kind of getting a little bit of a lead on him, right? But Marcell Jacobs does such a great job staying through that drive phase, right, where he ends up being able to really catch him with his ability to really transition through. And so what we want to be able to look at here, and I have kind of a side-by-side of the final and the prelims, and what's just remarkable with Marcell Jacobs is he does such a great job of maintaining such great stability during the landing phase, right? So you can see he's landing here. We can get a time of 5.542, and he's transitioning off really quickly. Is off by 627, right? So he's really transitioning fast off of that leg. But notice how he doesn't absorb very much weight during that contact, right? So you can see what he does here. He gets that foot through, and then he really reaches downwards, right? So he's getting such a good vertical push off, and then really reaches a lot more downwards to make it so he lands in such a nice straight line within his body. And then as he goes through here, he immediately gets up onto his toes, right? He gets those heels off the ground, and then immediately drives those legs through. The left side, he does a little bit more of like a reach, right? So he reaches out and then pulls back with that left side, still lands in a similar position, a little bit more out in front, with his head on this one. Hips are a little bit more back, but still does a good job of being able to maintain, right? So when he lands, he sticks it, doesn't bend, and then when he pushes off, he doesn't even really look like he pushes off very much, right? He just seems like he just drives that foot right kind of upwards and then brings the knee through, right? There's very little bending. We could see, we've seen in the past, like Noah Lyles does a lot of knee bend, right? Knee flexion, okay? But we could see with Marcell Jacobs and why he has such great front side mechanics, of course this is my opinion, is because as he transitions off, he gets into that 90-degree angle, okay, around 90-degree angle, and then comes right through. Yeah, he's close to 90-degree angle, 89-degree angle, right? And then he's coming straight through. Okay, so point being is he doesn't bend that foot all the way back, right? We could see, like, going back to Sissy here, see how much knee flexion he gets, right? That's a lot more of what we typically see, where you get a lot of knee flexion, right? We get the calf and those hamstrings really close together, right? Where he does get the hamstring and the calf close together, but not till very late into the cycle, right? And he does a great job being able to push off and immediately drive through, right? So that really requires a lot of specific activation within his foot, within his knees, and really a lot of force into the ground, right? So they got to be really working on how well he's able to generate force into the ground, because once he gets to like this top speed, and this is the same thing, right? So he has the same turnover right here as Arthur Sissy, except he's 6 inches taller, right? So now he's going to end up being able to pick up a lot more distance per step just naturally because of his height and also because of how much power he's able to generate into the ground. So once he gets past them, he just kind of like lets up here and then stops with the turnover because he already knows that he is qualifying. So there ends up being something very, very important, being able to really establish how to be able to generate that force into the ground with those front side mechanics, right? So you got to really understand how to maximize your front side, because you can see as he's getting into that top speed, he has a little bit of a reach, right? He gets that if we see his knee, his foot is a little bit out in front of his knee, but it's not much. But then as he comes back and pulls that foot back underneath, he does a great job of just being able to land and be very stable and then transition right off, which makes it so now he's able to, drive through with that knee so fast that now he can really pick up a lot of distance per step. And he just makes it look so easy and being able to maximize that frontside mechanics. And I think that he, really does a great job of building it throughout his entire run, right? So he starts off really quick and is very far up onto his toes. He has to have great just toe range of motion and balance on the tip of his toes, right? Almost like ballet, dancer, how they have such strong, feet and strong toes. He has to have that same type of capability. And I'm sure they drilled that. I'm sure they worked on it. I'm really, like, there's part of me that wants to go to Italy to be able to see, like, what are you guys doing? Because I could tell that they are really taking, just reading about, some of the training and stuff like that, they're really taking it very serious on foot contact time, on turnover time, and how much force he's getting generated into the ground, and, have the facility to be able to really concentrate on, how is his mechanics impacting, or changing from day to day. And I think that, once we can really invest into something like that, it'll really allow the whole track and field to make significant improvements in terms of overall development, right? If we could really see the difference between, when somebody runs fast on a, microscopic level, and how we can then develop them to be able to run faster, right? If somebody runs 9.7, let's say, where were those mistakes? Where were the mistakes when he ran 9.7? And then being able to really isolate that and be able to say, okay, this is where he can still improve: vertical force, horizontal force, turnover time, contact time, posture, position, whatever ends up being, but really be able to isolate those numbers will really be able to make big improvements within, track and field, in my opinion. So as always, guys, if you like the information, go ahead and click that thumbs up down below. Subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, comments, or recommendations, you can leave those down below. Would love to hear from you, and would love to hear your opinion, right? Would love to hear what your thoughts are about, where we are from a track and field perspective. Do you think Usain Bolt's going to be holding that 9.58 for, 20 years? Or do you think that, he's going to end up getting beat here in the near future? And also, who do you think ends up having the best technology, the best information right now when it comes to being able to develop sprinters? Is it China? Is it Italy? Is it the US? Is it Jamaica? Would love to hear your guys' comments down below. And as always, thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon.